good evening, chocolate lover. Welcome to Chocolate TV, episode 276. This is the 2nd of January 2017, or 2017, as you should say. I thought I'd take the chance of doing some sweet stuff. I've got a 40% milk chocolate with licorice and raspberry fudge. Swedish Pralinhauser, situated in Stockholm. Thought I'd try that kind of chocolate. And I do that with 3 different dessert wines. So I got an Italian made of Nebbiolo, Barolo Chianto, Scinato, Barolo Scinato, made of Nebbiolo grapes. Unusual to have Nebbiolo grapes as a dessert wine. I got Di Bertolli Black Noble, 10 years. It's a Solera. You stick in vintage after vintage until you have an average age of 10 years in the barrel, and then you bottle it and sell it, of course. And then from southern Spain, Arianas. This is, I don't remember. It's a Dulce, but it doesn't say what kind of. I think it's Monastrell, actually. Does only say Tinto Dulce, a red sweet wine from southern Spain. And here we go. First off, the chocolate on itself. As you know, tasting chocolate, tasting wine is the same. You look at it, you smell it, and you taste it, and then you decide if it's good or not. So take up this chocolate bar. You can see it's milk chocolate brown, nice mold with a cocoa pod and some leaves, and on the back side you got the licorice and the lemon, the raspberry, and this is raspberry licorice and raspberry fudge, it says, but this seems to be pure raspberry and licorice. I don't know. Let's break it off. So 40% milk chocolate, beans, I guess from Africa, and let's sniff it. The raspberry comes through on the other side as well. Very more strong on this side. Dried raspberry and dried strawberry, often strong scent, very aromatic and very sort of chemical in their essence. There's some licorice, but the milk chocolate feels like a semi-sweet milk chocolate, kind of woody. Well, let's try it. So it's actually not raspberry, it's raspberry fudge. Small raspberry looking pieces of raspberry fudge. Lots of sugar. And there's some salmiak licorice, salt licorice. The chocolate totally disappears. There is no chocolate whatsoever on my palate. Doesn't give any, no remembrance, no memory of it. Raspberry fudge, well, it's candy. Licorice I love, it's candy as well. So this is candy, and if I'm going to score it as a candy, I would have scored it differently, but I'm scoring it as a chocolate, and I'll give this one 2 out of 10. So let's try it. Kind of sweet, lots of sugar. Let's try it with a Barolo dessert wine made Nebbiolo. Yeah, still the sort of wine color you would expect from Nebbiolo, kind of brick, see-through red. And smelling it, we're doing this very fast, very fast. It has kind of what we call in Sweden glögg. You might call it glühwein or heated wine or something like that. A lot of aromatics from a Swedish glögg. You got some ginger, you got some cinnamon, you got some, there's some pepper as well. I'm starting to sound like a Dutchman. Very peppery on the backhand. Nebbiolo tannins, yes. Kind of hot. Still, this is only 16.5 alcohol. It's not up there at 20 or something like that. But very spicy. Very spicy. There's a lot of spice of all different kinds. Not that much fruit. So let's try it with a piece of this milk chocolate with licorice and raspberry fudge. Sorry about that. My mother had taught me better than to speak with food in my mouth, but I'm so sorry. Cough medicine. It's like cough syrup with the licorice. And all the sugar in the chocolate enhances the spiciness. Well, I know what I'm going to use next time I gotta get a cough. I'm going to use some dessert wine from Italy, from Piemonte. Let's go on. Black Noble, 10 years. Black, because it's actually, I just pour a little and it's almost non see-through there. This is also as a very dark old clay brown dark color. And on the nose you get dried plum, raisin, figs, also a slight hint of eucalyptus. Feels strong as well. This is what, 17.5% alcohol, so it's 1% higher. Has kind of a residual heat, maybe from the alcohol, but still, this is a totally different. This is a sweet wine. This is sweet, soft, raisin, fig, plum wine. This is candy in itself. So let's try it with the milk chocolate and the licorice and raspberry fudge. The secret of testing chocolate with a beverage is let the chocolate melt first, and then you got liquid in your mouth, you add liquid and see if they pair well. Yeah, definitely sweeter. This is sweet on sweet. the beverage is sweeter than the chocolate, and that's a usual chef recipe. The wine should be sweeter than the pudding. Then you have a better chance of getting a good mix. Yeah, and I think this chocolate would have been much better with raisins, because this is raisins. So let's move over to the Spanish glass cork. This is a more actually red, 13.5. So this might be a natural dolce, a sweet wine. Naturally is sweet. I think they aborted the fermentation and they added some thing, or did something to stop the fermentation, and you got some good amount of residual sugar in this instead. This smells also like raisins, but also like some sort of dirt and dried chocolate. And there's some red, sweet red berries, very sweet red cherries in it as well. Definitely sweet red cherries, very almost very sweet raspberry, and some raisins, yes, but not the really dry sweet kind. More like half raisins, if you get my drift. But the red sweet fruit is predominantly. So let's try this with the chocolate. Since it seems it's a little bit more acidity in this one, it kind of clashes with a very sweet chocolate. Kind of refreshing, but at the same time the wine feels suddenly more like water than drinking it without that chocolate. So, best combination? Surely the fig, raisin and dried plum wine. It's not made of that, it's made of real grapes, but with this chocolate, a very sweet chocolate, this was the best one. And since I only gave the chocolate 2 out of 10, I'd say, yeah, it enhances with some sort of good beverage. So, even a low scoring chocolate could be a good pairing in your mouth. And that's it for episode 276, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Bye.